Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of One Salty Cult. It's just me and my bro today. What's up, Chris?
Chilling, man. Chilling. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing good. We changed the intro music a little bit. We are going with the song Fun this week because
Everyone said our shit's too gloomy.
it's dark and scary, and I don't know, the name Cult and the fucking show should kind of deter the weak hearts away from our empty, bottomless liberal hearts, I suppose. I don't know. Today has been a fucking hard dick hard on all day because goddamn Michael, whatever his goddamn name, Trump's fucking lapdog is singing like a. It reminds me of old Italian New York rat bullshit, and I fucking love it, and that's all I'm gonna say on it. But I've been watching it for like 5 hours, and I'm like, yeah. It's just so great.
Whew, I didn't know that all this was going on.
It's so wonderful to have a co-host who doesn't know what's going on, so it's always exciting to just like
I know.
I don't really shoot the shit with and be like, whoa, that's true?
Yeah, I don't try to pay attention to politics anymore. It's not my interest. People just get too wrapped up in that shit, get offensive.
Too much division in the country. And I don't mind if you're a fan of if you've got conservative views and stuff, like I ain't got a problem with you. It's when you start wearing your MAGA hats and running down the fucking street
that's weird.
Like the pussy parade, you know what I mean? It's just
that's weird to me.
Oh, that's all. I mean, that's a whole different issue, and we're not a political show, so I don't know. That's why I got all excited and said, we got to do this today. And, and now I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't even want to talk about Trump. Fuck that guy.
Fuck politics right now.
Yeah. I just can't wait for President Rudy Giuliani. I'm kidding. That's my bad political joke of the day.
Rudy Giuliani.
That guy, I think that guy has Down syndrome.
Maybe.
Like, or he has Alzheimer's or
Asperger's.
I don't want to make fun of people with Asperger's. I mean, they're the idiot savants of the former time. I mean,
they make a quarter of our base.
Yes, they do. They do. If you want to be rich and famous, become a podcaster. I'm just kidding. So it's been kind of a wild run. We haven't done an episode in a little bit. It's been roughly about 2 weeks. In our last episode, we were mixing with a new female who is going to be joining the show on and off over the course of a month. Say we have a particular issue, or we've just talked too much, you and I. Yeah. We're just going to throw this female on the show, and she's going to give us a different perspective. She's not going to be on every show, but we got some events coming up with her. She's a good correspondent. She's a fan of the show. And she's got a voice for it, too.
Heck yeah, she does. She's very snappy and witty. She's sharp as a tack.
And she made Chris talk more than any other episode.
Yeah, she did. She made me talk, actually. Like, I don't really talk much. You're the loquacious one.
Yeah, you keep using that word. I'm just going to keep ignoring it.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to keep using it.
Until
you know
other
its
podcasts
definition.
are going to be like, loquacious? What does that mean? I mean, in our demographic, we don't have really, we don't have any Neil deGrasse's running in the podcasters of Orlando.
We do have a Google on a phone.
Yes, a Google. I know the Google machine well. I use it pretty much for every moment of my life in some aspect or another. That's why I'm so goddamn smart now.
Yeah, in the age of information, ignorance is a choice.
Exactly. It really is. That's what a very intellectual comment to be made at the very beginning of the show. We'll see if it carries.
Yeah, let's see if it goes somewhere with it. I like how that sounded.
So, like I said, we've got some upcoming events. We got some upcoming guests, and we're not talking about it just yet because we don't really know.
It's still up in the air right now. It's still got to show face.
All right.
Still got to show.
Chris is the one working on a special guest for our show that's supposed to lead us into magical places, but we'll find out once the veil is revealed from our eyes.
It will.
We'll see where everything goes. So if you guys are definitely follow us on the journey. It's fun. We're on Spotify now. By the time you hear this, we're probably on iTunes and Stitcher and all the. We're everywhere now. There's no excuse why you can't tell your friends about our show.
Oh, I've told everyone to find us. Everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna find your show." I'm like, YouTube, Spreaker, Podbean.
I almost
everything.
never tell people that we're on YouTube because it's like our show is like sometimes 2 hours long, and that it. In YouTube world, for some reason, they break it down into these 15-minute segments. It's a nice way for them to push advertising to go from video to video. But our we don't have any backgrounds on it. You know, it's not pretty to look at. It's not like you and I talking as like doing a video podcast.
It's just literally the edit screen.
It's like, you're listening to our logo, motherfucker. I'm Russ Rollins. That was the Hulk as Russ Rollins. I'm cool. So, things going on with me. We're going to go... This is kind of like we're doing the buddy-buddy shit in the beginning of the show, so we're just getting that out of the way.
Yeah.
This show is going to be fucking hilarious and very odd. The first half of the show, we're going to talk about some things that happened to me and some things that happened to Chris, which I really independently each... dramatic and sad and funny and enjoyable in all those miserable experiences that we call this nihilistic life.
Yes.
And then we're going to, if there's anything that we can find on it, we're going to do a short video, actually for our first short video, and I'm going to be talking to, hopefully, MOMO.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that a little bit later.
Oh, that Momo-chan stuff. I remember that meme. That is so old.
I said,
we
gotta wait and give the info on it before I literally press the first send button.
All right.
But it's also, I thought about this at a more in-depth way, is we were going to discuss philosophy in the upcoming future. Very short future, by that matter. I'm assuming sometime later this week we're going to do that.
Yeah, you want to give them a preview?
No. Well, the Momo's kind of pushing it in that direction, is that some of our shows are going to have guided particular contents and topics throughout the whole thing.
All right. I don't want to lecture people, though.
No, it's not a lecturing, but the Momo thing is going to be kind of weird because it's just what it is. If you don't know what it is, just stick around for the next segment. But Chris and I are going to take a little 2 or 3 minute break on our end before we get into our first topic. So do you have anything you need to plug before we get into our next topics?
Anything to plug? Not as of yet, but there's more things to come in the future, and I'm potentially going to be shooting skits for us. I'm going to be investing into that.
Okay, so we might have some more video content coming after this. I really never imagined this show being anything video, as I am a 35-year-old smoking dad. You know what I mean?
I know.
And I'm not smoking hot bod. I mean, I smoke cigarettes, and I don't like people, so that's why I smoke, because people don't like people who smoke. They're just like, oh, that guy smokes. I'm getting away from him.
So you purposely choose this smoke because it's a deterrent for people.
I know. Maybe I should just quit smoking, but somehow go hang out at a bar for like 20 minutes in the morning.
Yeah. You should
and then just go.
Yeah, you should totally do that. People will just be off-put by you.
Yeah, I smell like I've been through my third divorce, and I reek of just horrible cigarette smoke, and not just one brand. Because you can always tell a cigarette smoker who smokes Pall Malls versus from someone who smokes Newports and whatever. These are all cigarette names. Marlboro, there you go.
Yeah, Marlboro.
But they all have a different scent to them. So if you get them all combined in a bar, you're just also throwing people off because you're not just your clothes, but your entire essence is a cigarette.
Yeah.
And that would be the perfect way for me to engage people in society.
I think I'm going to find a cologne like that for you.
Just make it.
Okay. I'm going to take a whole bunch of cigarettes, put it in water, and strain it into a glass.
Now you're just making wet tobacco, and it's just going to smell like butt. It's going to smell like wet dog ass in your house. That's all you're going to be doing out of that.
I got to try, damn it. I don't know these things. I'm not a chemist.
Not a chemist?
Well, I'm a scientist, not a doctor.
All right, and we're going to take a short break before we move into our first segment tonight, which is going to be called Black Metal Car Audio Rockin Robinson. How's that for an intro of a segment?
I actually like that. That was a good plug.
I'm going to forget it in our break, so fuck.
Well, that's why we got recording devices.
I'm not going to. I never listen to this shit.
Oh, I will.
Okay, that's fine. All right, we'll be back in a minute. See ya. Welcome back, everybody. We are now going to do this segment, and I actually remember the name, so Black Metal Audio... I already forgot it. I already fucked it up.
Black Metal, Car Broken Down, Rockin Robinson, whatever the fuck.
Whatever. Anyways, so... I'm not going to make this one of those long stories like I normally tell. I thought it was funnier when it first happened to me, but it was like 2 weeks ago at this point, so It's not as funny. I actually had to write down some of the stuff so I could remember how to tell the story. So last... we have a local theater down here that does like art house films and shit, and they show movies that are kind of culty, kind of strange that you wouldn't normally see on a big screen, like it's like an art house theater.
Yeah.
So I went and saw this movie called it was called Lords of Chaos, which is essentially the I don't want to. It's based on true events of this story, and it's so unique and so strange that I had to go see it.
Really?
This is about a music style called true Norwegian black metal. And Rory, what's strange first off about the movie is that everybody speaks English, even though it should be completely in Norwegian, whatever language.
I remember the story you're talking about.
Yeah, we talked about it like off mic, and it's essentially about the bands that essentially made black metal what it is and set the real standard of what it is.
Oh yeah, didn't that dude get killed by one of those band names?
Yes, yeah.
That made the stereotype about black metal bands. If you want to join a black metal band, you're gonna have to be ready to be killed.
Yeah, but the whole story about how it got to be where it went was really cool.
Yeah.
And it was just one really long story of one dude trying to one-up the other dude to develop their version of street cred based on the black metal scene. It's a really weird long story, and it's really like the origins of the black metal band Mayhem, which essentially started the whole black metal story. And
how come every black metal music video looks so shitty?
Because that's part of the whole thing. It's their version of punk rock.
Yeah.
Because they had metal, and that was their loud claim to fame. Like Scandinavia had it, Sweden and Norway had their own levels of death metal.
Yeah.
Which was already a thing. We're talking about the early 90s, basically, is when this started.
Yeah, all those videos were just and you just see
you just
a
nailed
field.
You just nailed the entire culture in one fucking sound effect, basically. So black metal isn't my favorite kind of music. It was just I wanted to go see the story, but then it kind of really put into light like burning churches.
Yeah,
that's where burning churches in the metal scene came from.
Yeah, I remember that shit. The early '90s, and my brother telling me about that.
It's just so fucking cool because that's the reason why. Like, of all the styles of metal, you would think black metal would be